Hello, hello. Welcome. It's Trainwreck Wednesday, y'all. Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are going to join me on the train today. How is everyone doing on this hump day? It is Wednesday, hump day, and Trainwreck Wednesday, all in one day, y'all. Hello. Hello, I see some people popping on. Hi, sister. Hi, Barbara. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the train, y'all. It's Trainwreck Wednesday. Y'all, I'm going to be honest. It is Barbara's ready for the train ride. Yay. Hey, Laura. Welcome. My Vegas girl is in the house. Y'all, this has been a heck. Hi, Eva. Welcome. This has been a heck of a day for me, y'all. I swear. It has been a Wednesday for me today. Hello, Joy. How are you? I'm good. I am done with work today, y'all. My 8 to 5 was a headache today. So I definitely need to be on this train tonight because I need some creative relief. Hi, Nancy. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to Trainwreck Wednesday. You guys know me. Oh, Laura, great. You received your t-shirt. I'm glad you love it. That's wonderful. Hi, Sandra. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. So, yeah, so you guys don't know how bad I need Trainwreck Wednesday tonight. I desperately need Trainwreck Wednesday because I'm telling you, today was a heck of a hump day. So, you guys, tonight, you guys got your luggage ready? Because we packing up and we heading out. So tonight, y'all, we're going to be working on these two, hi, Nancy, on these two old suitcases that I have. There's actually a set of 3. Hi, Linda. Hey, welcome, Linda. How are you? Thank you for joining. So, yeah, so we're going to be working on these suitcases, y'all. There's a set of 3, and I have already done a little bit of homework. So this is just one coat of Liquid Sunshine. Y'all know I'm a DIY paint retailer, so this is just one coat of Liquid Sunshine on the smaller one, but we're going to be working on the bigger one today. So, y'all know there's always a plan, right? So the plan is we are going to be, let me turn my camera around. Let me turn my whole chair around so y'all can see. Okay, so we are going to be working on this bigger suitcase tonight, y'all. This one, I have already done a little bit of homework on it. As you guys can see, I have done 2 coats of Kissing Booth. This is DIY's Kissing Booth. Y'all, I love Kissing Booth. Not only do I love the name, but Linda says, yes, I feel you. I'm ready to ride. I had a hectic day as well. Yeah, I have my suitcases. All right, Laura. Well, girl, we about to get on this train. We are about to, because it seems like there's several of us on here that could use a getaway. So we're going to get on this train tonight. We got our suitcases ready. So I've given this already, you guys. I've given it 2 coats of Kissing Booth. And Kissing Booth is this really pretty kind of a fuchsia color. You know, I never knew what fuchsia was before. But fuchsia. So that's Kissing Booth. The other one I did in Liquid Sunshine. I just gave it 1 coat. And so what I've done, though, to kind of tone the Kissing Booth down a little bit, what you see this brown here, y'all, is my favorite stain. Y'all already know what my favorite stain is. I put a little bit of Dark and Decrepit on here, and I wiped it back. Now, some of this won't be seen because it'll be underneath the decoupage paper that we're going to use, too, on parts of this. So, we're going to be using Roycycle Treasures, and you guys have seen me use this paper before. This is the Textured Floral Left. Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to also be using the Textured Floral Right. And you guys remember the twins? We did that project on the twin corner tables, and I used Textured Floral Left and Right. So we're going to be using that again tonight. And we're also going to be using, though, y'all know, another one of my favorites. I got a lot of favorites, don't I? We're going to be using the Kindest Regards stamp. Kindest Regards, because this stamp just makes a really, really good background. We're going to be using that. And we are also going to be using this stencil. So I got another stencil in, and this stencil is called the Montera leaf. So we're going to be using this stencil as well. But we're going to do a textured stencil so that we can play with a little bit of the making powders that DIY has out. Of course, y'all know we ain't going to get all that done on the train tonight, but we're going to get started. So we're going to be using that too. So that is the plan. But we're going to get started by decoupaging our textured floral left on our suitcase. So this is the left. And so what I want to do, though, I don't want all of the paper on here. So I'm going to be working on this little insert part right here. So if you guys can see, there's a little strip here, there's a little strip there. And so these suitcases, y'all, believe it or not, hi Judith, welcome from Mississippi. These suitcases, y'all, believe it or not, they have a few, issues, like there's some tears in the leather straps and a few holes here and there, but who knows how old they are. And yeah, these papers are, oh, I love this. This is one of my favorite papers. Barbara, you're right. So, and this is kind of like my favorite color to use this paper with, because it kind of blends in with it, a little bit. So, so these suitcases had a few issues, but all in all, y'all, on the inside, they were in really good shape. And, typically when you get old suitcases, they're pretty worn on the inside. But these are actually in pretty good shape. So we're going to use part of this paper. I want to capture this big, and we're going to use it inside this part right here. Right? And it's kind of divided by straps on each side. So we're going to use this kind of like a frame. But I only want part of this flower. I don't want the whole paper, but I want to get as much of this flower as I can. And then I'm going to trim out this side over here, and I'm going to use the Kindest Regards stamp over here. Yes, Barbara, well loved. Can't you just imagine the places they went with this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead now and do my little trim while I have this on here. I'm going to go ahead and trim right alongside this side of this giant flower here. If I can find my water. And I'm just going to you guys know, y'all see me do this so many times. We're just going to, as a matter of fact, let me grab my board here. I'm just going to slide this up under it. That way I won't wet up what I've already done. So yeah. So we're just going to take our water, and I'm just going to trim alongside this this rose here. And we're going to take some of this off. And I'm going to go ahead and go all the way down to the end of the paper, just so we don't have so much to contend with. I'm just going to go all the way down to the bottom and take all this off right here. Just like we've done so many times before. So I hope you guys have been having a better Wednesday than I have. I am glad to be on the train tonight. It is a relief to be doing something fun after a long day of work. Okay. So there we go. And of course, y'all know we'll save this for something. Hey, Gina. Hey, girl. Welcome. All right. So there's our little, we've trimmed off now the paper on that side. So I'm gonna put it right in here. And I'm gonna trim, I'm also gonna trim it underneath these. I mean, I'm not gonna go to the straps. I'm gonna just keep it inside this little frame. So these little straps kind of make their own frame. So when I do my, I'm gonna be using big top to put down, I got so many cups here, to put my paper down. And then I'm gonna be using, I'm gonna bring this over a little more because my goal is to get that rose. So hold on, you guys, let me grab mine because I always forget something. Always. Let me grab my, some of my cling wrap. So I'll have, of course I have a couple plastic bags. I could have used that too. Gina says, just got home from the grocery store, had to wait until it was cooler. Florida summer is no joke. Oh my gosh. If it's anything like Texas, it sure ain't no joke, Gina. I don't know though. I guess we can't complain in Texas because y'all, we have had a lot of really decent weather for the summer in Texas. And that's usually not the case. All right. So let's go, y'all. Here we go. So we're just gonna go ahead and get our, I'm gonna go ahead and trim this off because there's no need of letting it stay here. I'm just gonna go ahead and trim right along here. Rather than fight with the big paper. So I'm kind of using the dark and decrepit to kind of tone down a little bit of the kissing booth. So that's why I put the dark and decrepit here, but I'm also going to be using my kind disregard stamp. So did you guys get a chance to see the Roy Cycle, the new Christmas papers and the fall holiday papers? They are up on my website now. And if they are, if you find that, you know, you're not finding the one you want, I do have some more coming that should be here in a couple weeks. There's also a couple of Halloween ones. I don't typically do the Halloween decor, but for those that decorate for Halloween, they are on the website as well. I only have 2 DIY products. One is Dark and Decrepit and Pennies from Heaven. Girl, you got you a good 2 though, Gina. You got you a good 2. Dark and Decrepit is just, I mean, one of my all-time favorites. So here we go, y'all. We're just doing the wet method. We're gonna go ahead and put this down here. Get our first coat down. And we're just gonna do a few layers on our suitcase tonight. Cause y'all, while we in the train station, you know, people gonna be like, ooh, where did they get that luggage? And they ain't gonna know that we made this luggage ourselves. Because that's how we do it. And I'm also going to be trimming these straps out with a Bohemian Blue. So have you guys ever used Bohemian Blue? I don't know if I showed you guys Bohemian Blue. But it is this really pretty blue, y'all. It is one of my favorite blues. It's kind of a deep, dark. Can you guys kind of see that a little bit? A deep, kind of dark blue, like a really deep, deep blue. It's kind of almost has a gray blue tone to me. So I'm going to be using that blue to trim off these straps with. So yeah, we giving our suitcases a little bit of pop. So that way they can't get lost at the train station. So I'll pull back just a little. Then after I get the most of my medium down here, you know, you go back at the top and put that down. And so we're gonna go ahead and get our rows on first. Are you using water to stick to the paper? This is Big Top, Laura. I'm using Big Top to stick the paper down. I use plain water to trim it off with, but I'm using Big Top to adhere it to the suitcase. And y'all, this suitcase is kind of the fabric on it was kind of almost like a fabric itself. It was kind of like a linen type material. You know, a lot of the suitcases, you know, they may be leather or, you know, even metal. But this one had kind of a linen-like feel to it. And so I'm adhering that with Big Top. Yeah, I use the water just to trim my paper off with, so I could get that organic edge. And so you can use any water-based top coat to put down your decoupage. I kind of like to use either Big Top or Liquid Patina. Liquid Patina is really my favorite because I'm more of a matte finish kind of girl. And Liquid Patina is a matte finish, where this one, hi Anna, welcome. Big Top has a little bit more of a shiny feel to it. And so once I get my paper down, I can kind of go back and smooth out some of those wrinkles. I know that some people hate the wrinkles. The wrinkles really don't bother me though. Typically you can take your iron, long sleeves. Are you having a cold front? Anna, no ma'am, I wish. I'm gonna tell y'all, I have the long sleeves on because I went outside, y'all, to water my plants. And you can't go outside in short sleeves. The mosquitoes will tote you off. So the long sleeves are for the mosquitoes. You have to combat them some kind of way. Child, they will tote you right off. You'll be like, how did I end up here? Mosquitoes. They are bad this year because, you know, of all the rain. They're worse than usual. Okay, so there we go. We got our rows on. And so now, I'm going to go ahead on this side, and I'm going to add my, same in Florida, Gina, mosquitoes, right? I mean, doggone it. And it's never like one mosquito. It ain't never one mosquito, y'all. It's always a mosquito family that comes at you. So I'm going to be using my my letter here, my kindest regards letter, to stamp this side over here. I'm just trying to match it up a little bit, see what I'm going to get. I'm going to let it hang a little bit over my flower here. And then we're going to do a little bit of a raised stencil. Linda says, those mosquitoes are horrible in my backyard. Yes! They tried to eat me alive the other day. Linda, girl, I'm telling you. I am telling you. My backyard, they're the worst because I have the most flowers there. And, I mean, the more flowers, the more moisture, because it doesn't get a lot of sun in that area, the more mosquitoes. So, I mean, I feel like I need to get a full combat uniform to go out in my own darn backyard. Okay, so I'm just going to be using black. I'm going to be using ink to stamp my, Anna says, I do not miss them from when I was in Florida. None here in the mountains, yay. Oh, Anna, I'm jealous, Anna. So I'm just going to be using my black ink pad here. I'm just going to add a little bit more ink. And this is IOD's ink and ink pad. Eva says, I was in Texas a few years ago. Then let's see what she say. Aren't mosquitoes down there? They're small birds. Yes, Eva. That's another thing. Child, they got big this year, like you know, genetically engineered mosquitoes or something. They are huge. I'm telling you, they would tote you away. So that's all that to Anna to say. That's why I have on long sleeves. Get you a bat house for your backyard. I don't really like them, but they eat mosquitoes. Lots of people have them. Really? A bat house? They eat mosquitoes. Let's see. I was trying to read the whole thing. It won't let me open it. Oh, lots of people here have them to help with that. Wow, a bat house. I don't like bats either, but you know what? At the end of the day. Okay, let me make sure I have my letter correct. Yes, that way. So we're going to go ahead and stamp our letter. So when I put it down, though, it's going to be on this side. So I want to get the most of my ink over here, because that's going to be the side that's going to be laying down. So I'm not going to get all of it on, but I will get some of it on. A bat house, huh? Child, then I'll be, ooh, you know what, Gina? I don't know if that's going to work, child, because then not only will I be running from the mosquitoes, but, child, I'll be running from the bats, too. So I'll be running from two things, the bats and the mosquitoes. I don't know about that. I might just have to contend with the mosquitoes. The bats keep to themselves, but they sure do eat those suckers. They keep to themselves. There's something creepy about a bat, though, you know? But I know they're good for the environment. All right, make sure, y'all, when you're inking or stamping, rolling your stamp, try not to get your ink anywhere other than on your letters. The bats are only out at night. Oh, okay, Anna. Well, good. Then I might can, because I'm not out there at night. Okay, y'all, here we go. So can you guys see this? Bring it up just a little. Okay, so now I'm gonna lay down my stamp. I'm gonna try to keep it in between my little lines here. Y'all, this kind disregards stamps. Bats are nocturnal. Yes, they're right. You're right, Eva. And I am not. Well, lately I've been nocturnal, but not all night. Okay. Kind of holding it up on the end because I really don't want to get it over on my trim. Barbara says the bats are fun to watch when swooping. Yes, now that is true. I've seen them on TV. I love to watch them like all swoop out. All right, there we go, y'all. So there we go. I'm gonna raise this up so y'all can see. I'll move some of this stuff out of the way. So now we have our rose on one side, and we have our kindest regards stamp on the other. Isn't that pretty? I just love kindest regards, y'all. I have, you know, I don't know. I just fell in love with it. Okay, so there we go. So that's our rose and that's our stamp so far. Okay. So now I think I'm going to go ahead. I think this is dry enough for me to go ahead and trim off the edges of my paper here. So I can kind of get a clear picture. It kind of stuck right here, so I'll just take my water. And I'm just going to trim it off along this strap here. And that's one thing when you're decoupaging and you don't want to decoupage all of whatever it is you're working on. Make sure that your medium doesn't go anywhere that you don't. Can you guys see that? That you don't want your paper to stick, because it sure will stick it. Okay, so there we go. We got that off, except for this part. And I'm gonna go ahead and trim. I'm gonna trim the back. Let's see, Terry says, does the water reactivate the paint or has it been sealed? Yes, this has been sealed, Terry. Good question. I forgot to say that earlier. I did go ahead and seal this. Even though I knew I was going to be putting down the decoupage, I kind of like to seal first. Even though I'm going to be using the same top coat to put down my decoupage. So yes, this has been sealed. But yes, water will reactivate the paint if it's not sealed. And so I did seal this with 2 coats of Big Top before I put down the decoupage, and then of course putting down the decoupage I use the same Big Top. Okay, so there we go. So now I've trimmed off these edges here, and so what we have left is our paper that's kind of, I mean, you know, it's not perfect, but that's okay, because, you know, ain't nothing on the train perfect. It's train wreck Wednesday. Okay, so there we go. So now we have our paper trimmed off. We have our kindest regards letter on. We also use our dark and decrepit in the back, so you guys can kind of see a little bit of that in the background. That dark and decrepit behind the kindest regards letter. So it's looking good so far. So I want to check out and see how this boho blue is gonna look on this trim. So let's go ahead. Let's get a little bit of the boho on. I'm gonna cover up my ink thing here. So let me find a brush, y'all. Whenever I come do live, y'all, I pull out every brush I got because I don't even know which brush I'm gonna be using. But I am gonna use, let me go ahead and take a moment though to take my baby wipe and wipe really quick. I'm gonna wipe the ink off really quick of my stamp, because I hate when stuff gets dry and then I'm in there scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. Okay, now let's go ahead and go with our, let's see what our boho blue looks like. So I'm going to be using my little bitty brush, my little Joy 4 brush here, to trim off these little, see what it looks like when I put the blue on here. Because y'all, we're going for color. We don't want to get lost in the train station. We don't want to get lost in the train station. So that's our boho blue. It's a really pretty, I love this color. I fell in love with boho blue. That was one of the first colors. That and apothecary. Ah, yeah, y'all. It's going to be pretty. I think I'm going to like that. So it's going to get trimmed off in boho blue on these little straps. Just like that. But y'all know what? I'm going to tell y'all. So I don't know how people toted their luggage around back in the day. Because when I tell you, this luggage is not only big and bulky, but it's heavy. It's heavy. Yes, Anna. I love boho blue. It was like one of the very first colors of DIY. Uh-oh, I got a little on my paper. That's okay. First colors of DIY that I fell in love with. Boho blue and apothecary. And I just feel like I don't use boho blue enough. So we're going to add it tonight. So I think that's going to be really, really pretty. I think it's the perfect combination for this trim. So I'm going to hold this up and see what y'all think after I get this on here. Got a little bit right in there. And I got a little bit too much. I got carried away with my boho. A little bit right here in this corner. Take it off with my baby wipe. And I can always touch it up if it bugs me. It probably won't. Yeah, I think it is a great complementary color, Barbara. I like this. So yeah, so anyway, y'all, this luggage is like big. And not only is it big, I mean, it's like bulky. And so, and it's empty. I mean, imagine if I had my clothes in it. Jeez. Okay. So that's kind of it without it being sealed. But it kind of gives us an idea what it's gonna look like with our designs. So let's see, Linda says, so are you saying you aren't going traveling with that giant? No, I'm not gonna be able to do it, Linda. Child, I'm gonna have to take somebody just to tote the suitcase. I mean to tell you, these things are bulky and heavy. Okay, so that's kind of what we're getting. I think I like this, y'all. Look, with the boho. I'm liking it. Let me go back a little. There we go. So that's the boho trim. Of course, when we seal it, it'll be prettier. But I think that's really pretty. But I don't want to stop there, y'all. Nope. I want to keep on going. So what I'm going to do, I want to take my... First, let me take my little dryer here, y'all, and see if I can dry my ink up a little. You guys do know that if you use ink takes longer to dry than the paint. So typically when I put ink on something, Gina says keep going, girl. Gina, cause girl, you know me. You know I just gotta keep on going. I mean, this is Trainwreck Wednesday, right? Y'all know we don't do too much simple. Every once in a while we'll do simple, but you know. For the most part, we like to mix it up on this train. So yeah, so typically inks take longer to dry. Joy says, now you know why there are so many porters back in the day. Yes. Not only that, child, they had to be in shape. I don't see how they toted all this luggage. Oh, y'all. And imagine, these are suitcases, but can you imagine those trunks? Remember those trunks? Like they were made out of steel. I mean, and they had stuff in them. I don't see how they did it. I would have had to quit my job. Okay, so yeah, typically ink is going to take like overnight, y'all. Ink is going to take overnight, where paint will dry really, really quickly. Especially while I have that fan on. But I usually let my ink dry overnight, so I don't know how dry this is going to get. Let's see. Nope, it's not dry enough. That's okay. That's not going to hold us back. We're just going to do the other side. Okay, so, all right, so this is where we are so far, but I want to add a little bit of texture with my salt wash and my, what did I do with my stencil? With my salt wash and my Montero leaf stencil. So I want to add just a little bit of texture, and I want to kind of add it in this corner here with my leaf there. And I'm going to be using, for that, I'm going to be using salt wash, and I'm going to be using Monet's Garden, which is a really pretty green. I fell in love with this green too. Isn't that pretty? Look, can you guys see? That is a really pretty green. So I'm going to be using salt wash, and you guys have seen me use salt wash before, but in case you don't know what salt wash is a texture, it's a paint additive or a texture additive for your paint. And so salt wash, you use it kind of, you're supposed to use it kind of like half and half. So it comes in this big, well, I have a big one. That's what it looks like. Kind of looks like flour. And so you put it in your cup or whatever you're using. I don't really need that much, I don't think. Put it in there. And then you add whatever paint color you want. Hi, Corey. Welcome, Corey's in the house. Then you add whatever paint color you want. So, you know, if you want your texture to be blue, you add blue paint. In this case, we want it to be green for the leaf, so we're going to add our Monet's Garden. And you're supposed to kind of add like a 50-50 ratio. But y'all know I don't never measure. So we're just going to see what we get. And you want to kind of stir it up to the consistency of maybe pancake batter. Really, you want to kind of get it to where it doesn't fall off your stick. And you just stir it up until it's thick, and that's going to give you a little bit of texture. And I think it's pretty thick, so you can see that it's not falling off the stick there. Yeah, it is good and thick, isn't it, Gina? Nothing like texture, girl, nothing like texture on a piece. I love texture. Okay, so we got that mixed up. Now I'm going to get a little bit of, I might get a little bit, I might not get a little bit. Let me see if I have my tape, just to hold my stencil down a little. While I dab my texture on. So I'm just going to use just a little bit of the blue tape. Whoever invented, Blue tape, y'all, is a genius. I love blue tape. Like, blue tape, like, it keeps you from really ripping up anything. It's light enough to where it doesn't pull off your paint, hopefully. And if it is too sticky, you can like rub it across your clothing and get it a little bit less sticky. Okay, so we got our stencil down. Y'all, let me check the time. Y'all know how I just go on and on. Y'all ain't even trying to tell me what time it is. It's 10 after 8. I'm good. But y'all already know how I chit chat. Especially when I got y'all on here with me. I'll just keep on chit chatting. Okay, so we're gonna use our I'm gonna just kind of use it just like a stencil. Not gonna put too much of a glob on it. And then I'm just gonna kind of, can you guys see that? Pull it around. Then I'm just going to kind of, sorry about the shaking. I'm just gonna kind of start dabbing it in. Kind of holding it down. So this is going to kind of give you a little bit of texture, and I made way too much, but that's okay. A little goes a long way. And so then you just use it like any other stencil, right? Once you get your color in there, then you can stencil it on. You can also do, you can also make raised stencils with this. I think you guys saw me do that when I did the peacock dresser. So salt wash is just really, really versatile. I love it. And you know, one of those little small things goes a long way, y'all. A long way. I mean, unless you're putting texture on everything. You might just get up one day and be like, ooh, that microwave needs some texture, child. Let me go get my salt wash. And if that's the case, you might need a bikini. Because, you know, microwaves, they do be kind of blah. I guess some come in color now. Different colors. Give it a little bit more texture because I don't think I'm putting enough peaks up here, because I want to be able to use that texture. And if your peaks, when you're doing this, and if your peaks get too high, just wait until it starts to dry a little bit, and then right before it dries completely, just go back with your brush and kind of knock them down some. It's like when you're stenciling. Hi, Chris. How are you? So when you're stenciling, y'all, it's like you want to hurry up and get like to the end so you can like pull it up. It's like I want to hurry so I can see what the outcome is going to be. I love this giant leaf. It kind of has a tropical feel. So we're doing kind of like a mixture of traditional with the roses, right? And a tropical feel. Let's see. Gina says, I put texture on everything and it lasts a long time even then. It's such a great product. Yeah, Gina, I agree. And like, it's so versatile. If you like texture, I mean, there are other things out there on the market too that make texture, but I'm pretty hooked on salt wash for texture. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. Let's see. Let me pull this way. Then I don't have to reach so far. Hold this down while I... because it's not laying flat, so I want to make sure I don't get too much up under there. I know my finger is in the way, y'all. Just trying to hold that down. Let's see, I'll do it this way. This is our last one right here. So how many of you guys out there have tried salt wash? Texture junkies. Any texture junkies in the house? Okay, I'm done. I'm just going back and adding a little bit right here where I think it's kind of flat. Beside Gina. I know Gina has. You can't go wrong, y'all. Like, you can mix it with whatever color paint you want. You know what I'm saying? And then you're ready to go. All right, y'all, I think I got it. Let me see, I'm put a little bit more right here. Kind of flat right here. I want my leaf to have a little bit of leafiness to it. All right, I think that ought to do it. All right, let's see what we got, y'all. Moment of truth. Joy loves texture. Corey says she wants to try it. Good, Corey, girl. You ain't going to be sorry. Laura says, I cut around my stencils. I hate dealing with that extra. It gets in the way. Yeah, that's true, Laura. I've done that too. I've cut around my stencils too before. And she loves using salt wash. Claudine says she used it on her grandson's chest and she loves salt wash. And Gina says, I use it too with my palette tools for texture. Oh yeah. Yes, y'all. I love salt wash. Okay, here we go. And there we go. Oh wow, look y'all, that came out so pretty. I'm gonna hold this up so y'all can see it. That came out really pretty. So now look what we have, y'all. So this is what we have. We have our Montero leaf over our rose, which is over our dark and decrepit, which is over our kissing booth. And then we have our little letter over here to the side. I think that came out really pretty. Let me pull it back some so y'all can see. And then we trimmed it off with the boho blue. Y'all, we on our way. I don't know where we're going, but child, this train better be going somewhere good with luggage like this. We are on our way. I think it came out really pretty. Yeah, ready for the train trip, Barbara. It's time to go, y'all. All right, so yeah, that came out good. So what I want to do, y'all, what I'd like to do, so once this dries, I want to kind of go in and give my leaf, my giant leaf here, a little bit of, you know, dimension, because leaves aren't all, you know, completely, you know, green. So I want to use some of the DIY's new making powders. You guys have seen them. And so I'm going to add a little bit of, let me see, what color am I probably going to use? I'll probably change my mind by then. We probably won't get to that tonight. Excuse me, you guys. I'm probably going to use a little bit of this Van Gogh. It is kind of like a, almost like a goldish, not really gold yellow. And just to add a little few touches on there. So what I'll do is these making powders, y'all, I've never used them. I've just been watching other creators use them. So what I'll do is I'll probably get my, of course, I'll seal all this up. And then I'll kind of dip my brush in my, while it's wet, while the sealer is wet on top of here, I'll dip my brush in my making powder, just a tad bit, and then I'll kind of go around the edges of the leaves here and there, you know, randomly, just to give it a little bit of a different color and some dimension. So yeah, so you guys, we're on our way, child. I'm so glad we got our tickets, y'all. We are on our way. They gonna know who we are with this luggage. They're gonna be like, ooh, where'd she get this luggage? So that's it, y'all. I think that's probably about all we have time for tonight. So I am gonna go ahead though. I'm gonna go, and I can do a little bit of that right now. I'm gonna show you guys how I did that. Y'all know I love me some dark and decrepit. Y'all already know I love me some dark and decrepit. So what I did was I just took my dark and decrepit, and you know, with all of the patinas, you give them a little stir. So I did stir it up a little bit. And then, but what I did was I took my brush, and where is my brush? I bring every brush to the table. Then I can't find the brush that I was using. Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Here it is. So I took my brush, and then I just took a little, like one of my shop towels. So, let's see. Gina says, Sonia says, love that. Just here. Hey, Sonia, welcome. Let's see. Gina says, I'm leaving for Tennessee Saturday. I need this. Girl, yes, you do, Gina. They gonna know who you are when you walk in. They're gonna be like, ooh, where'd she get that custom luggage? Child, you're gonna have to tell them it's one of a kind. It come off the train. Trainwreck Wednesday, that is. Okay, so what I did, y'all, I just took my, dipped in my dark and decrepit, and I just kind of swirled it a little bit like this. Because y'all know that dark and decrepit can be used as a stain. Can y'all see that? Sorry. Can be used as a stain. Can be used as a, can be used to age a piece. It can be used as a glaze. So in this case, I'm kind of using it as a glaze because I'm just kind of brushing it on here, and then I'm going to take my my shop towel, which is a little bit damp already. I sprayed it with a little bit of water. I'm just going to take my shop towel, then I just kind of start to blot around and kind of get it a little bit of an aged look. Not so, you know, in your face kissing booth, but kind of a toned down kissing booth. And so there you have that, and then I'll do the same thing because I've sealed it. Now the one thing though, you guys, with these sealers or with these patinas, you do not have to seal over the top of them if you don't want to. They are self-sealing. So yes, I just took my dark and decrepit, kind of rubbed it in a circular motion. I can leave more in the corners if I want to, kind of give it an age feel. But I still, in the background, I still get the kissing booth, but I've toned it down a little bit. Sonia says, Trainwreck Wednesday, no wrecks. Beautiful things happen. Oh, thank you, Sonia. Thank you. Okay. So then I just take my, I'm up here at the top. I just take my shop towel, and it's a little bit damp. I'm just kind of taking back some of my dark and decrepit, just for a little bit of an aged look. And I'll go over onto my boho blue a little bit in places, especially in places where the where maybe there's a little bit of more wear than normal. I'll kind of add a little bit of dark and decrepit to those spots. And so that's kind of how I did that, to get kind of more of a glazed, aged look. So I will do that all over this piece to kind of tone down a little bit of the kissing booth. And then The dark and decrepit takes longer to dry than the paint. No, it really doesn't. Dark and decrepit dries really quick. It's not like the, Corey, it's not like the stains, you know, that you would typically use that take like overnight to dry and smell up your whole house. No, dark and decrepit is really fast drying. It dries pretty much as fast as the paint does, which is why I love dark and decrepit. That's one reason why I love it. And another reason, it don't smell up the whole house. You know how you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you be like, what is that? That stain that you used the night before. Well, especially when you do it in the house like me. So there you go. So it gives us a little bit. So see how I toned down that kissing booth, but not so much. It just kind of gave it a little bit of an aged look. And so so there we have it, y'all. This is kind of where we are. So I think it's turning out really good. And I don't know, y'all. I got some other things up my sleeve for this. You know, our luggage ain't done, child, because we going on a, you know, we got to stand out. And, you know, we can't just go in there with no plain old Samsonite luggage, you know, from 2021. No, child. We're going in there with some vintage luggage from back in the day that has been custom by us. So, yeah. So, anyway, y'all. That was fun. I'm enjoying this. So, yeah. So, what I'll do is we'll probably come back. Yeah, we'll come back next Wednesday. Laura says, love it. Okay, we'll see you next Wednesday. Yes, see you next Wednesday, Laura. So, yeah, we'll come back next Wednesday, you guys. And we'll add some more to this. Because, you know, we ain't through yet. We ain't through. When we walk in the train station, we want everybody to be like, oh, look at that luggage. Get it, girl. That's what we're going for on this. So we'll work on this again, you guys, on next Wednesday. And until I see you guys again, don't forget. Now, any of these products, you guys know you can find them on my website at pecanporchboutique.com, including the stencil, including the dark and decrepit, the papers, everything. You just go look on my website if you're interested. And until we meet each other again, y'all know, let's say it together. Don't forget to bud, bloom, and be unique. Thanks, you guys. Have a great evening. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.